Hey guys, so I have some encouragement about how God's been in motion in my life recently, and I really wanted to share that with you. So at the beginning of this year, I prayed for the things that I wanted to accomplish in 2021, and one of those things was that I wanted to plan a weekend trip for my friends from high school. I thought it would be a great idea to reconnect with them after a year of pandemic and quarantine. So as summer approached, I really just pulled the trigger and I booked an Airbnb. And I found some fun things to do in Rhode Island, and I texted them and I just said, hey, who's with me? So all 6 guys that I invited on the trip would all consider themselves to be non-believers. And I thought about the low probability of one Christian among 6 other guys having any spiritual impact amongst them. And I could have easily just accepted these odds, had a fun trip, and we could have moved on with our lives. But I thought, beyond just this world, what real impact would that have on the kingdom? And that's where the power of prayer came into play. Before the trip, I met with Travis and Scott, and we talked about the idea of a Christian life as moving upward in a stream. And although it might be foolish to move in a different direction as the crowd all the time, we prayed that eventually the crowd would see what Jesus has done for us and would eventually become attracted to the upward direction that he's moving our lives in. And we prayed that for the trip that I was about to go on. So the trip was really beautiful, and it was filled with a lot of adventures, watching playoff basketball and exploring the city a lot, going to the beach. Oh, it was just great. Perfect weather. Couldn't ask for more. But above all that, God totally showed up. So at dinner, my friend Tom, he began asking me a little bit about my faith. Now, he was raised Catholic and then accepted atheism later in life. He admitted that he does appreciate Scripture for the lessons and wisdom that it offers, but he could never wrap his mind around there being a higher power. So among our long conversation, I encouraged him that faith, above all else, is a relationship, and it's a journey. I told him that earlier on in my journey, I had a lot of the same questions, and I had a lot of the same doubts that he has now. And it took me being able to ask these questions and wrestle with these doubts before I was able to even grow in my faith to where I am now. So he asked when our church meets and if he could tag along with me some Sunday. And I said, absolutely. And he plans to make it soon and is very excited to connect with Scott and dive into more questions. I'm not exactly sure where these conversations will go or if they'll amount to anything, but I know for sure that God takes so much delight when we step out from our normal lives and we begin a journey in faith. So here's some encouragement from this. Don't ever feel like you're defeated when you're outnumbered. Prayer is so powerful and bridges the gap between worldly things and things of God's kingdom. Your lifestyle may be in the minority, but if we're following Jesus, we're always moving upstream. By imitating Jesus, you set the most attractive example of love that the world has ever seen. It's the kind of love that changes this world one heart at a time. So be praying for Tom and be praying for where that journey leads him.